Hello?
Except for the part where
It's
music
gonna be
seems
so
to
loud.
bleeding through on your channel.
Yeah. Was that my music or your music?
Nope, I think that was hers.
Okay.
Wait, you can hear my music?
We can hear your music.
Yes.
Oh, fuck my life.
You'll get there.
I mean, it's not bad background music.
Yeah.
All things considered. Maybe, you know,
It's
you
just
can't,
popping
if you
in.
can't eliminate it
It's just
entirely, just
popping
turn
in
it
and
down a
out.
couple of notches and it'll be fine. And just, you know, switch over to a slightly more aggressive track when we get into a fight.
What about now?
I love it.
Can you...
Still hears the music.
God dang it.
Okay, now we're good.
You can't hear the music?
Don't hear it.
Well, we
Yeah,
can, but it's
tiny
gonna be like
bit,
kind of
tiny
briefly on, so I don't think it'll be a big problem.
Only when you talk. Only when you open your mouth.
It's not loud enough to trigger your mic when you're not talking.
I don't remember how to fix this.
I think we'll be okay.
I think you're okay at this point.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. Or we won't, and it's fine. So...
Why is the save all the way at the bottom? Can you hear it now?
Nope.
No.
Nope, I think
Okay.
we got it.
Just bear with me. I'm going to turn it up just to see.
Just a scoosh.
Can you hear it?
I heard that.
Okay. Well, good. So you can't hear the music anymore.
No.
Yeah. That's good.
I unplugged and plugged everything back in and redid things and added a fourth monitor.
Sometimes that's what you gotta do.
So everything is now messed up. Because everything got plugged in and unplugged.
More than one monitor?
What's that?
That's super quiet. Whatever. I'll worry about that later.
So, last episode, we found ourselves wandering through the wilderness, as we have been doing for, oh my gosh, you're losing track of days. You've been wandering through this Appalachian-like wilderness with all of its mistiness that floats around you and chills you to the bone.
Is the chatty jackass with the box still with us?
No. We lost him.
I'm trying to tell you what happened. Hold on. So anyway, you've been wandering through the wilderness, and you came across a creek, a stream, a river, with much boulders and much rapids, and you stopped for a moment because you heard some music's off in the distance, and a few of you went off to start to investigate, and that's when you got ambushed by, what was it, trolls? I think it was trolls.
Lady Troll.
Lady trolls.
Sister Troll.
We annihilated them.
When they started to realize that they had bitten off more than they could chew, they started calling for their kitty cats. And Coulson was like, uh-oh. Because suddenly displacer beasts, shutter cats started to emerge from the ether and attack.
More of them?
More of them. There's more out there than what you have already killed. More of them.
Extra
So there was a tussle. A great tussle. Onan ended
There was
up
a firefight!
Onan ended up going into the drink because as you were crossing the creek with the coffin got knocked into the water and started bobbing and floating downstream. So he attempted to hold on to it, but was pulled in. A rope was tossed to him, which only entangled him, and down he went. But you did manage to eventually keep him from drowning after much effort. And it was very much touch and go because you're trying to save him and the coffin and fight the trolls and the displacer beasts. which, hooray, you did. However, the coffin you lost. The coffin drifted off
Oh
the
no,
river.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
However,
awful.
earlier I
However,
threatened to turn the inside of his coffin into a fart machine. Yeah, and that shut him up for a little bit.
You did happen to go searching for the coffin, and you found some drag marks leading away from the river, so something had grabbed it and retrieved it and was moving it across the rocks and the mosses and the grasses, because you started to see footprints as well, accompanied with the coffin. And then that's when I do believe it was Nalindra, if I'm not mistaken, who
Screwed up more
scouting
stuff.
ahead and came across a fellow, a short, diminutive, red and gold robed fellow.
Oh
clearly
no.
Yes, who had clearly taken possession of the coffin, and he
Oh.
specifically did speak to you, Colston. He says, "Oh, you and your friends might want to tarry, Coulson. You're running out of time," as he vanishes, leaving you in the wilderness.
Did I set him on fire?
You did
Nope.
not set him on fire.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah, I know. So y'all had been trudging through double time through the forest to get to. Let's pull up the map so we can.
We
see
still
what-
have that donkey or the ass or whatever.
You do still have the.
That's Ryder's ass.
Charles is, I would think he's, since he didn't get wet, he's probably behaving, I would think.
Uh-huh. So y'all were at Song Hollow, which is here. Then after losing the coffin, you needed to double time it to here. And you made it to here, which is where we're picking up now. And this is a large chasm, at the bottom of which is a raging river.
How long has it been since the last session?
So how long would it have taken you to get there if you were moving from
Yeah.
Song Hollow to here? One hex equals 4 miles. So I would say probably a good part of maybe 4 days, 3 or 4 days.
So I'm probably healed up by then.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Okay, cool.
For the most part, there is the wear and tear on your body as you have been pushing yourself. Do you want to give me?
But every time we rest, I can sing, and we can get the fret. We can get hit
Get
points.
rested. Nice. Then you've got it covered. So you managed to reach the. What are they calling it? The 10-mile lake. Okay, so it goes for miles and miles in either direction. And as you have been approaching this area, the weather in the atmosphere around you has changed. It's darkened the closer you've gotten to your destination. You notice that the clouds, instead of moving in their usual direction from west to east, they actually start changing direction and spiraling back towards the direction that you're walking. You notice that lots of the fauna are moving away from the area that you were going to. You'll see them scurrying kind of rapidly through the brush, through the trees, as if full of foreboding. And this is the closer that you get to the LaSalle Wheel
In that
location.
4 days that we're traveling, could I take some time on one of the, when we're not trudging, and do a sending to the entity in the coffin?
What would that entail?
I'm just trying. I mean, basically, it's a communication, right? I send a short message and say,
Okay.
we lost you. We don't exactly know where the coffin is. Do you have any idea where you are so we can find?
And he only gets 25 words to answer.
Can he communicate back to you?
Yes,
Yes.
he
And
can
20
communicate back one 25 word, whatever response.
Interesting.
I mentioned the 25 word limit because I know that guy won't shut up.
Oh dear, it's so good to hear your voice.
God.
I thought that maybe you had just decided to not talk to me anymore after being plunged into the river. Is it? Ah!
You can't interrupt him. You can't.
No, it's over. It's
Oh, you
25 words are right.
That's it.
It's 25 words. So he didn't answer my
That is
question.
everything I expected it to be.
Oh, Zugon.
So Zugon is not in our possession. Zugon is in possession of the little jackass in the red and gold robes, who
Dragon
apparently
Maloro.
isn't hanging out in Waterdeep right now because he's busy messing with our feng shui. But we're still going to the wheel because we're gonna whoop somebody's ass. Is that where
But
we're at?
I will try to talk to him in, because I got that as soon as I leveled up. So I guess that would have been the end of the. So I would have had like 2 more days to try to do it in the evening when we're at the end of the day and I know that I don't need my spells. I will try again, saying, please do not drone on and answer my question.
That's using your
Let's-
noggin.
Let's finish Colson's
It
thought first.
won't
then we'll do that.
work.
So yeah, Yes, you are still attempting to get to the LaSalle wheel because if Boak gets there at an appointed time, which it seems like, by the scurrying of all of the animals and the weirdness in the weather, that appointed time is drawing nigh. Quite nigh.
Okay, but wasn't the entire point getting the coffin there so that dude could defeat Boak?
Correct. But he also needed you to be there with him because one of you were going to be his champion. Face down Boak.
Well, at least we can do this quietly.
So yeah. And if you do not succeed, then Boak's tyranny will of course spread throughout the land and envelop the world, all of Faerun. So high stakes. High stakes.
I mean, we could just get jobs just countering Boak. That's basically guaranteed employment
exactly.
for the rest of the campaign. So,
Okay, so that's.
6 of one, half dozen of the other.
Did you want to catch up on anything else, Coulson? That's pretty much what happened.
No, I think that covers everything that I need to know. The coffin is gone. The bad guy is still there. We're still going to the thing. Stuff's going to get blown up. I feel like I've achieved cosmic oneness.
Okay, cool.
Now, by all means, please continue with talking to boxes.
Okay, so
Again, the next evening I will ask and I will say, you only have 25 words, so do not drone on in your response.
oh dear, how could I possibly be so succinct and
Yes.
conveying
Yes, everything I
how-
expected.
and conveying how dire and distressful I feel.
Beep.
This-
You
This box is an idiot.
This box is an idiot.
See? That's my point.
A different time.
I
What was your
never
question?
understood why we were slogging this guy around.
What was your question again?
It's too late. We wasted the words again.
Don't you have another?
I will do it I can do it, I suppose, but I mean, I don't
You
know that he
probably
could.
got 2 castings of it an evening.
I could do 3. I have 3 third level
Okay.
spells. If we don't use any spells during the day, well, actually no. So I will be creating the hut every night, which is a 3rd level spell. So
Yeah,
I
but
have
that's
2
ritual
levels.
casting. You have to worry
Yeah,
about
okay. So I could do it again, but I'm not sure how good it's going to be since he can't seem to comprehend do not drone on.
I mean, it's really just a question of whether or not you want to, whether or not we want to find him. And I'm of
Do we
mixed
not
thoughts on
want
that
to
one.
find him and just confront this Boak person?
I mean, I am absolutely prepared to take out all of my frustrations on Zubin, on this Boak jackass. So, like, if it just involves blowing stuff up, I am totally there.
I mean, I'm sure that my mother is playing some role in making this super frustrating for me. So she's
I don't
doing
think
a
your
rather
mother is
large
making
job.
the Coffin guy a jackass. I think he's just a jackass. I think that's just a thing. Like your mom didn't have to put any effort into this one. It's just already there.
Well, she would have picked this for me just because it's so
That I believe. If it makes you feel any better, we are familiar with the guy. So,
the
if
Boak
getting the
guy
Coffin
or
back,
the Coffin guy?
no, the little short dude.
Oh,
We're
the
familiar
guy
with
that
him.
showed up and said that we have no time left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The guy in the red
The guy
bathrobe.
that swiped the coffin, right?
Oh,
He's the one who
joy.
swiped the coffin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we'll get a crack at him later. We have thoughts as to where he is.
Is he an ally of this Boak?
No, he's his own jackass.
Oh, so there is 3 jackasses,
There's
and we're
so many jackasses.
supposed
Great.
to choose which of these jackasses to support.
No, I don't think we actually have to support any of them. They're all equally worthy of getting blasted. Boak, I think, is the primary concern at this particular point in time. Shrimp Boy is a secondary concern, and quite frankly, when he wants to, he's going to make himself our problem when he wants to. And then Coffin Guy is really just a secondary thought. It's actually much nicer not to have him around. As long as we didn't need him. If we needed him, then we have a problem.
Do we know what we're supposed to confront this Boak about? Was it just the
well, I mean,
conflict
he's-
between? They're brothers, are they not?
Yeah, he's Naughty Spawn. I think that's his whole shtick.
Yeah, so you have been told, or the original group has been told, that there is something called a black conflux occurring, which is approaching, and during this black conflux, Boak, will be able to commune with the goddess of chaos and become her champion, and he will become all powerful.
That thing he said.
Yes.
Do I know anything about a black conflict?
Conflux? You have not heard of such thing.
Well, let's get on with it then. Although, 10 Mile Lake, this is a big old chasm with like a river rushing through it.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I make a mental note that this would be a place to set up like kind of a tourist thing because I think people would enjoy looking at this. Maybe like get some boat rides going through here, you know, some stuff. I'm just saying, you know, this is an opportunity. Maybe set up a casino.
Jeez.
I mean, if you build it, they will come. That's just, I'm just saying, you know, there's some exploitation to be done here.
That's what I've heard.
Such an entrepreneur.
So, did you want to try again to speak with him, or no?
I mean, I'll try once more, and then I will say, okay.
I bet he doesn't
you
answer.
Need to be succinct. Do not drone on. Where are you? This is the last time I'm trying to contact.
I am being cared for by children.
Oh no.
I believe they are taking me away from the wheel.
Beep.
Oh, you got it under there.
Great.
You got it under there. Yay.
They're taking him away from the wheel.
If we
I wouldn't
really
say
feel a need to look for him after this, we can start in Waterdeep.
That's kind of foreboding
is
news.
Waterdeep?
because
Is
I
it a
don't know
place?
which direct- Yes, it's a major
Oh.
city.
I'm.
It's not
as
on
you
this
may
map.
as you may have imagined, not from this. So I have no idea Waterdeep is, or actually where actually I am.
I know the feeling.
Alrighty.
So
Let's
in this
crack on.
wheel place, is that where we're supposed to confront this Boak person?
Yes.
Is the wheel Lusal?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to verify.
Wheel of Lusal, yes.
Yes.
It's probably going to be some wacky Stonehenge looking thing or something.
So, you travel through the wilderness. You notice all of these atmospheric disturbances. You even notice that as you're growing nearer to the 10-mile lake, that you are finding that some smaller animals that, for whatever reason, did not flee, lay dead on the ground, and they have grown discolored and odd looking, as if under some sort of internal malady that has turned them from what they were supposed to be of nature, and they seem disformed, mutated, and you start to see more of these creatures as you get closer. As you're standing,
Do they
over
look
this-
rotted or just
yeah, you could say, well, give me, why don't you touch one? Why don't you investigate one?
I will not touch one with my actual hand. I could touch with a mage hand and pick it up.
When you pick it up, it definitely feels like it has rotted from the inside out. It feels like its insides have solidified into some sort of malleable powder, as if you just squeeze it, and then the impressions that your fingers leave on the body of the creature remain there.
Gross.
So it's not just the sky, everything is acting all Jinji Ito inspired.
Yes.
Nice.
And as you're standing over this chasm, you have come across this rickety old bridge. Now you have gone to the south and to the north looking for passage that would suit far better than this. You cannot find. So now you're standing here on the left-hand side, which would be actually the eastern side. Oh, the right-hand side, which would be the eastern side. Contemplating whether or not you actually think you should take chances across this bridge.
Well,
Will you please put your tokens upon the map?
On the map.
I'm gonna take it.
And there should be a donkey somewhere here.
Come on, token. Where's my token?
Obi. There's Obi. So it looks like it's about an 80-foot drop from here, and it goes like this for miles in either direction. So you could climb down, quite possibly make it to the other side, and then climb back up. If you have, I don't know. We'll let you figure out this puzzle. How do you want to cross it?
That's not what I want.
So
How rickety is it, and what is the actual width of the actual opening here? Like where it's anchored on one side to where it's anchored on the far is.
Oh, you mean how long is the bridge?
Well, yeah, but I mean,
I'm just
clearly
gonna
the
walk
bridge.
out on it.
I was gonna say send the donkey for.
Okay,
No, the
somebody tell
donkey
me
is
how to
like
get my
as
token.
heavy as-
yeah,
The
I'm
donkey
having
is as heavy as
difficulty
two of
token.
us. We want to put the lightest people out there first, not to stress the bridge. And then the heaviest folk, which does kind of mean Orin is going last.
Oh, there I am.
Or Onin is going last. I mean, love you, man, but you're a heavily armored fire plug. Like that's
Well, last time we
That
our
is a
bard
line.
friend magically created a our bard last time magically created a bridge type thing. Could they reinforce this one?
That is true.
I suppose it could be. It has to be a medium-sized object. So would a medium-sized object be a platform that could overlay this bridge from one side to the other, made out of wood that is not rickety? As long as it's made of mundane material, and it has to be less than 100 gold pieces.
how big a thing can you create?
It has to be a medium. So basically that's 5 by 5 by 5, right? So, but if I don't make it 5 deep, I can make it longer, right? So it's only going to be like 6 inches deep, but then it could be long. What I'm saying is to make some sort of a platform that's overlays this rickety.
How do I delete the
will,
line?
How do I do it? I don't see the line anymore.
It's over on the
Use
bridge.
line. If you just go on the draw thing, and then think you can say, can you not say delete?
No.
I should be able to.
Oh no, it's only the GM who can delete in this dinky game.
Yeah, I don't even see it anymore.
It's on the far side. It's on the other side of the bridge.
Oh, it's over there. That's right. There, the line is gone. Coulson, Are
Sorry.
you actually heading across the bridge, Coulson?
I am attempting the bridge, like staying to the left-hand side. So I'm walking on the walking. as
Before
much
you
on the
go,
structure
I
as-
will sing to you and say, you are simply the best, and you are better than all the rest. And if you happen to fall, I hope you can catch it. And I give you a bardic. It's a D8.
Ooh,
already.
Coulson, I would like from you a perception check, please.
Perception, you say?
Mm,
Ooh, nice roll.
yeah, that's very nice. So let's see, how many feet are up? You're what, 20? 15? Stairs?
About 25, all things considered.
Okay. Alright. It's when you get out about 25 feet, the boards are quite... They seem more substantial than they look, actually. Because you were very ginger that first 5 feet, feeling that maybe the boards were going to snap under your weight, as lithe as you are. Then you get out to the 10-foot mark. You're still sturdy. Then you head to the 15 and 20-foot mark, and you begin to think, That's odd. You're wondering if, like, are these boards petrified somehow? They look like they're just going to give way and plunge you down into the river, but they seem to be holding your weight quite substantially.
Okay. I will continue on another 15 feet.
Oops, I don't know why I grabbed you and moved you. There you go. Let's do another perception check from you. I'll give you a plus
Hi,
3.
Sly.
Alrighty. 11 total.
11. Okay. So you get out that far, and you feel kind of like your spider sense is tingling just a little bit. It's like, something's wrong about this bridge. And you look down at your feet as you're about to take another step.
Never look
At
down.
first, you think it's just the crack between planks itself. They seem to widen a bit as you step, and then you realize that you're actually seeing like some sort of moisture. Like you see,
You
like,
better
this
run.
really sticky
I know, Sly.
tendrils of something caught between the boards, and it just kind of stretches out a little bit, and it's like, wow, that looks a lot like saliva or something. And then that's when you see the teeth, and then you realize that you're standing right above the mouth of a mimic as it opens up, and
You diabolical
I did.
bastard.
And I added a
attempts
monitor.
to bite at you.
So now I have 4.
So,
But you have a bardic inspiration if you need.
And if you need to move faster, you can just let me know.
Ouch.
oh, it nagas you.
Except not that fast.
Gulp.
Ouch.
So it's got a hold of you. Your left foot has fallen. It seems like the rest of you on the shore side, cliff side, you see that his foot goes through the planks and he yells out in pain.
And did we see a mouth open and bite
You
him?
did not. You did not. It just looks like he put his foot right through the planks and he's cries out in shock. Suddenly, as the bridge seems to give way beneath him. Can I get a perception check from the 3 of y'all?
You sure can. Maybe.
Yeah. All right. There's Leo. There's Leo. Put Leo there. There you go.
Slowly but surely. Oh, no,
Okay,
you
so
cannot.
Leo and Tiana. You start to see that all along the bridge, in various places, the planks start to open up and then they close. And they open and they close and they're clacking. It seems like in random locations. And then you swear, Tiana, that you see tongues start to lap up and lick at the air and then disappear back down into the bridge. And the whole bridge is starting to gyrate and dance. And Coulson is there trying to keep his balance. Coulson, what do you want to do about this?
Someone
I have-
throw a rope to him quickly.
We know what
I
happened
have two
last time
thoughts
I
on
threw a
this
rope.
subject.
Yeah, but he's not in the water.
Yet.
Well, he may be, or he may be somewhere else if you do not be careful with your rope.
You said you have thoughts.
I have thoughts. I'm going to cast Misty Step and teleport.
Ooh.
Weird.
Weird.
Teleport to there.
Zwap!
Should have went the other way.
I didn't necessarily want to get separated. And that's the bonus action.
Okay.
And then I will move off the bridge. And I will tell the rest of the party that this might complicate things.
So yeah, you see that he has taken a nasty bite to the foot, to the leg. Calf, actually.
Ouch.
And you're definitely bleeding through your trousers there, Coulson.
It's only a flesh wound.
After Coulson leaves the bridge, those mouths, they start to settle down a bit, and the bridge starts to go more inert and still as it was when you first approached it.
Oh.
So, can anybody paralyze this thing?
No, but I can cast Pass Without a Trace, and we can cross without detection.
If we're walking on it, it will detect us.
Good try.
We could
You
try.
can certainly try.
No.
Thunder erupts above you, and you see
Of
lightning spread as far as the eye can see all above you. And the ground beneath you seems to shake a little bit. This disrupts the bridge, and those mouths start clacking again and gnashing their teeth.
Can we try to count how many of these mouths there are?
Yeah, give me a perception check. And then the bridge slowly starts to settle again as the rumbling subsides.
It was not good.
It was definitely over a dozen. Over a dozen, for sure.
So I think that this is not an alternative unless we have some way to make these clacking mouths stop mouthing. If I look anywhere up and down this ravine,
Yes.
is there a place that I could put a wooden bridge that would... I'm imagining if I made it, say I made it a foot deep, then it should be able to be 20 feet long? Is there any way...
It's like I don't
that
know
I
if the
could
game
put
stuff is
a
fixed yet, though.
20-foot long bridge and
That much
go
I
across
didn't.
the gap?
I
Is there
didn't
anywhere where
check
it's narrow enough that would be enough?
because
Well,
all
you've
of my
already-
audio was messed up.
Remember, I said you already investigated looking for a place to cross, both up and down this chasm, and this is the first spot that you found that you can cross.
Well, if someone could go on the other side and we could maybe put a rope on both sides, then we could try to go across the rope.
How tall are these
So-
trees?
Question. Would it be possible as
Sacrifice a
using-
donkey?
I was gonna say with my alchemist kit, make ostensibly a paralytic that we could, put on
Interesting.
top of the mimics?
That is an option. You could try.
Okay, now I've just gotta figure out how to roll that.
I will call out to the mimics and say, "Excuse me, but do you want something from us?"
You want to try
Yeah, I want to try to.
and communicate with the mimics?
Yes.
Okay.
Nice roll.
Yeah.
No, that's good. So you're working on your paralytic.
Yeah.
Okay. And Tiana is going to start attempting to communicate with the monsters.
Is there something we could give you for passage?
they react to your voice by gnashing their teeth and slapping their tongues up and on the planks of the bridge as if searching for the source of the voice that is speaking to them. And failing to grab a hold of anything, those tongues, they waggle back down into the mouths and the bridge settles again.
I do not think they want to negotiate.
Maybe they're hungry.
Well, I was trying to determine what they needed, but they don't seem to want to negotiate.
It seems evident to me what they... Onin says, it seems evident to me that they are hungry for flesh.
Well, there are a number of creatures here on the ground that we could give them.
At least enough to give them a distraction.
I will go and get, with my mage hand, pick up one of those dead creatures and toss it to where I saw the tongue.
I'm real interested to see whether or not it spits this thing out.
Okay. So you just toss it?
I just toss it with my mage hand, or I just take it. My mage hand can go a little distance from me. I'll just take it floating with my spectral mage hand and just drop it into the mouth of this.
Maybe whatever killed
Okay.
those creatures will affect these things.
You drop it into one of the mouths, and the mouths near this particular mouth start clamoring quite hungrily and lashing their tongues, trying to take that little morsel away from the mouth that you are feeding. And the tongue wraps around this old desiccated squirrel and snaps it in half, and it falls into pieces into Mimic's mouth, and it chomps greedily.
Gross.
Even bites
Well-
one of the other tongues.
Well, if we did this, if I could do this as we walked, maybe they would be distracted by that and not try to gnash on us.
Who wants to give it a go?
Uh,
Oh,
wants to give it a go.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a lot more faith in my paralytic, I guess.
I'm all for feeding the bridge. Let's see how that plays out.
You have some options. You have two options going on here.
well, while he's creating his potion, I will try to see if there's a way that I can put it sort of in the middle of two of them and have them actually fight each other. You said that one was lashing at the other. Is there a way that we can actually, if I can position it for them to fight over this desiccated creature body that I'm going to drop?
I imagine you could do that. So it'll take a combination of some skills on your part, which would be, let's see. So you're basically just using it to bait.
Well, I'm trying to distract it so it's so busy
Distract.
fighting the other
That we can
mimic
walk across.
beside it for this that,
So you
that we
go-
can just go across it and it is busy basically.
Yeah, so you're gonna go around, gather up as many desiccated wildland creatures as you can,
Right.
and then are you going to lead the party across as you're feeding the mimics and hope?
Well, what I
Yeah.
can do is I can make a little bitty wagon and put all these bodies in it and have my mage hand just pull the bodies out of the wagon. I'll push the wagon from behind with a stick, and the mage hand can just pull these out and feed it as we follow the wagon. So I can make a wagon using my performance
Okay.
of creation. I will use my performance of creation to make a little wagon, and my mage hand will fill this little wagon up with all these desiccated bodies, and this wagon has a rather large sort of piece of wood with a handle that I can push, 10 feet in front of me.
Uh,
And see if then my mage hand can just basically pull things up out of the wagon and drop it, and then I'll push the wagon forward and can move forward and try to go sort of baiting this thing as we move.
So you're gonna have to move at half the speed.
Mm-hmm.
How long does this last? Will it last long enough for you to
It
get that
lasts 1 hour, I believe.
far?
Oh, nope. It lasts for my proficiency bonus hours. So it will last for 3 hours.
Oh, that's plenty of time. Okay. Okay. So we know how you're going to get across.
Well, everybody, I'm hoping they can pull in right behind me. But we're not going to do this until the paralytic is complete, so that if we need to do that as well, that we have options.
We
'Cause I was
could
about to say, feeding it doesn't take into account my big ass.
stuff the paralytic into each of these dead little creatures. We
There
know
you
they'll eat the creature.
Yes, that's a very good idea. Yes.
That'll buy us time to
that
get
in these-
across.
Put that in these creatures, and then as my mage hand drops it, they will eat these creatures, and hopefully they will become paralyzed. That is a very good idea. Thank you.
Very nice.
I do have a question about this bridge,
Yes.
though. So,
You.
if we do this and paralyze them, are they what creates the bridge illusion? And the bridge fails?
It's not an illusion, I don't think. I think it is actually them.
Camouflage.
They are pretending to be the bridge.
So if we paralyze them, do they continue to pretend to be the bridge, or do they fall into the water?
If we're lucky, then they maintain their shape, and if we're not lucky, then we have to find another way around.
Right.
Oh,
If we are
we'll
not
find
lucky,
out.
then my wagon will fall into the river
Yeah.
because it is at least 10 feet ahead of us, and we
That's
will
right.
jump back and have to find some alternate way.
Dark Knight. We're talking about wagons, not beef.
Okay, I know what I have to do.
Stop
In order
listening
to
to
figure
me
out
to give you ideas on how to make this harder.
Yes. Because
So-
that is genius.
As soon as the paralytic is done, that's when I will actually create my wagon. And my mage hand is gone. I've had my mage hand going out and gathering a pile of small creatures that will drop in the wagon when I create it. But we're sort of now on a time stop, waiting for this
Hi,
paralytic
Domo.
to
Hi,
be-
Stone.
I'll help collect the creatures.
So here's the conundrum, because if the paralytic works on them, then the theory is that if they are paralyzed, they will lose cohesion with each other and therefore compromise the bridge.
I'm just
You
not gonna
want the
talk anymore.
paralytic- but you want the paralytic to work.
But we want them to just be paralyzed, not necessarily. If they're paralyzed, maybe they just become rigid. Can you make your
Nice.
paralytic make them be rigid rather than?
Well, it is, causing the musculature to become immobile. So I don't think it's not a relaxant. It's
Okay,
I do have hemp rope still.
let's do
Well, I
this.
think it may be an idea to tie the rope to the side here.
And tie the pieces of these dead creatures together so that they eat them and are now all connected by a rope tied from one end to the other while they're
Well, I
paralyzed.
think that they probably will eat the rope. That would be a. If they just bite the rope, then the rope will certainly lose cohesion.
A rain begins to fall around you. Not just any rain, but a slick black rain.
Oh, great.
definitely
around?
Shinji Ito.
Okay, I'm going to now change in my mind before I create this thing. A cart with a very large parasol on the top of it that spreads out behind it that we can walk under the. So there'll be like 2 pillars up from the cart and then this long parasol like cover behind the cart that we're pushing, so we are not getting black.
Okay. How many rounds is it going to take for you to go across the bridge if you're moving at half speed?
So all of our movements, I would imagine that the slowest of us would be 30, so we could move 15. So that would be 3. 1,
6 rounds.
2,
I
Yeah,
could cast Longstrider on
but that's only on one person, isn't it?
the person leading the wagon.
Well, I'm not leading the wagon.
Pushing the wagon.
is leading. Yeah, so I can already move a little fast. It's not me that you need to be concerned about. The slowest.
Can I? Oh, I can't put that on a. It's only on a creature.
Because I can also jump and leap if I need. But other people may not.
Is your paralytic ready yet?
I did the roll.
Well, I bet it still would take time though to
Yeah.
craft it, wouldn't it? So
Okay. So let's say it takes about hour and a half ish times.
okay, so I will ask the alchemist to let me know when it's almost ready, and then I will create the cart because it'll take time to load all of these creatures.
Okay. And then you set off. Set off with your operation crossing the Mouthy Bridge.
And I will push the cart with this piece of wood handle with one hand, and the other hand I will use to basically puppet my mage hand to pick these things out of the cart and drop them in the
The only thing we're missing is some operatic singer, because this is just.
Oh, I can sing while I do this if you'd like that too.
Oh, by all means.
It's like,
I will
you know,
sing. Do you want a jaunty tune, or do you want it to truly be operatic?
No, I was gonna say, I'm almost expecting like this is sort of like what you would expect the canal boats in Venice to do.
No, I will I'll play the Mummers Dance. If
Okay.
you know the Lorena McKennitt song, the Mummers Dance.
Oh boy.
This is gonna go great.
Interesting.
So
What
I
are
will
you
sing-
rolling for?
I will hum the what he's rolling for the mimic to see
Yeah,
how
I'm rolling for
how
the
they
mimics.
are affected by
round.
this paralytic.
Yeah, it looks like, by what I am looking at, you get halfway across and the plan is going swimmingly, and you're gonna make it. This is a genius plan that you all came up with together. You are definitely jiving together as a team, and halfway across, the mimics behind you, they start to shake off the paralytic.
They run.
That's
I will say faster, faster, and I will try to move my cart faster and move my mage hand faster, and I will sing faster so everyone can get in the rhythm of moving faster.
I
And
cast
this
command on the mimic and tell it to freeze.
Ooh.
Oh. I was going to say, this excites all of the mimics. Your sudden motion and panic as you rush across the bridge. But Coulson, go ahead and do what you're...
This is a saving throw.
Okay. Okay,
Wisdom
what's it?
DC 16.
16.
Oh, let's go.
That buys
Disadvantage.
us a round.
What's that?
I
Yeah,
said
buys
that
you
buys us a round.
So that's 15. We're 15 more. So now we're like here.
One more. Yeah, one more go.
Already.
How long is that? Oh, yeah.
That lasts for one round. So
One round.
when the mimics start getting antsy again, I will cast it again.
Okay. Wisdom again.
Uh-oh.
Oh!
Oh no.
Oh no. So, well, it looks like Nalindra and Tiana made it across. Who's coming up third?
I can't move my token.
Is this creature? It is I will turn my song nasty for a moment, and I will yell at this creature in my song.
We're gonna move you up here.
If it's attacking us.
Because the two of you made it. Coulson, I'm gonna say, was right behind y'all. 3 remaining. Let's see. There's a chance that you might get snagged.
Ooh.
Okay,
Ooh.
well, if it is attacking, as I said, I will turn my song nasty and silvery barb.
Oh, well, what is that gonna do?
Well, it
That would-
distracts the creature, and it says it has momentary uncertainty, and it will have to re-roll its d20. Use
Okay. Against you specifically, let's make an initiative.
No, it doesn't have to make against me. At any when a creature.
Presumably, this is being done in response to it making its saving throw against my command
Yeah.
spell.
Correct.
Okay.
Which at that point it would have to re-roll the will save to see if it.
Well, it has to roll a save. It has to roll a save against my silvery barbs first to see if silvery barbs.
Is it a wisdom save?
It is a what is the save? Where the hell is the save on? Hang on.
Well, Silvery Barbs doesn't have a save. Silvery Barb just forces a second roll
Why does it put a spell save DC on it?
because it
Stupid
puts
thing.
a spell save DC on everything.
Everything gets one.
Stupid thing. Okay. So it doesn't have to save. It has to re-roll its save against Coulson.
Which was wisdom, right?
Yes. So that wisdom save here.
Oh no!
It was but it was a 12, wasn't it? 12, 13? What was that 12, 13?
That was against your silvery barbs, which I realized.
Okay, which we didn't have to do.
Yep. So this one is versus Coulson's last go with the command. Okay. So we are back to Nashy Nashy Bite Bite. I believe that snags
Hey,
you,
City, how's it going?
Leo. Arr!
Oh, grand.
Oh dear.
9 points of damage. A bite and a bite.
Ouch. I can't even
Okay,
make you
so it
walk
looks like-
faster.
So Leo, you get snagged. Obi rushes past you, then stops. He turns. He makes a blade out of his fist and just hacks at the mouth, which immediately spastically releases you. And he grabs you, does a spin move with you, and tosses you off of the bridge to the land side. However,
Did he bite again?
Gosh.
I will turn my song once again and do a vicious mockery again. So he has to re-roll.
oh,
I will
Nash,
viciously mock
Nash,
him.
Nash. Yeah, that misses him.
I am calling him all sorts of bad wood names like rotten and putrid and all sorts of bad wood names.
So Onan is snagged by one of them, but is latched down upon his metal boot, and he has his hammer and he's smiting the mouth, and every time he does it, a piece of something comes splattering off as he releases his hammer back into the air, and you see that he's just knocking holes in the mimic bridge.
I would be careful, dear sir. You
The
do not
bridge is
want to fall in the river again.
You actually hear it you hear a screech starting to come from the bridge, and right about midway it separates suddenly. And the bridge starts to collapse and fall away.
Oh, great.
And Onan is still held fast by one of the mouths.
I will attempt to free him using Eldritch Blast. No, wait, that wouldn't work either. I will.
Not a surgical spell, I don't think.
I mean, depends on
I
how
mean-
well I shoot. I'll try command again, and I will say release.
And I will throw him a rope.
This is starting to look a little familiar.
Let's see. Yeah.
So save.
Damn it.
I believe they saved. Yeah.
I will attempt to. I will close my eyes. My song stops for a moment, and I will mind sliver
Ooh.
the mimic.
Do you want me to roll for this rope or no?
Let's see. Yeah, roll for the rope to hit him. Hit Onan. Target must succeed on a saving throw. Or
So
take-
it's a DC
Okay.
15 intelligence save. Otherwise, it will take 8. That would fail.
That
Catch
would
the rope,
fail.
bad boy! Catch the rope!
So, your psychic blades or bolts or what have you spike into psychic energy spike into the mimic. Then it releases Onan, which unfortunately causes Onan to start falling.
Oh god, here we go.
It reaches out. You do hit him with that. You hit him with the rope. Let's see if he.
You better catch
with
this
the
rope.
I told you this looks an awful lot like last time, and you are not paying enough attention.
Oh, he says in slow motion. Oh.
Mr. Dwarf, you have to learn to swim.
Does he catch it?
Loading.
Does he catch it?
I was like, do we have to mage hand it tight around him and haul him up?
Catch the
Mage hand
rope!
can only do 10. Can only hold 10.
Yo, no, I'm saying the mage hand could go around him and tie the rope around him, and we will haul him up from the other end.
Oh
You've
my
got to
dear
be
God.
kidding me!
Do we hear a splash, a big metallic splash in the water down below?
He grabs
Oh,
for it. and
dear.
You can see his face brightens as he clamps his stubby little fingers around the rope, and then it just slides right out of his palm. And his look of relief turns suddenly to horror, and he starts to try to reach out with the other hand, and he's just all the way down, and then
Flat.
into the water.
How far
does
down
not-
is he?
It's
He does
60,
not.
60 feet from the top of the ravine down to the water, I think.
Obi yells down, Onan! There's no response, as there is no Onan to be found.
I will release the cart and start running downstream and say, "Wow, this looks just like."
Lightning strikes near you, hitting the cliff face. The cliff side that you are on shudders and starts to give way a bit, driving you away from the edge of the waters. At least you fall in.
Can I
alongside.
see him? Is his head bobbing at least?
Roll for it. Roll to spot something. Perception. You see a boot. A boot
He's
come up,
topside down again.
What's the boot?
and then it flips over, and you see that the boot is not attached to anyone. And then it glubs
Just
underneath.
floating, glubs.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh!
You wait and peer for minutes upon minutes, and you don't see him. The rain starts falling hard.
Oh my dear!
Into a black hail.
I will continue to run down the path that goes along the side of the ravine here, trying to pick out any sign of dwarven boots or shoulders or heads or this what?
60-foot drop in a raging river. I don't like the odds of that.
What do the rest of you do? Olsen, you look up.
Stop
at the
trying to throw
sky.
ropes.
You look up at the sky, and in the direction that you were going, it's just black. You swear you see, amongst the blackness, you see a moon beginning to peek through, as if
A moon?
clouds are parting.
moon.
That's great.
I like the moon. The moon? Oh, I am
a moon. A moon that should not exist.
Oh. Would I know that this moon should not exist?
Yes.
Oops. Ignore
Is
that.
it a moon I would know?
You can make a
Religion?
religion check. Yeah, religion check.
Ooh,
Okay.
interesting.
From the info that you have picked up,
Yeah.
this is the moon from eons ago that exploded and shattered and fell to Faerun, which is the whole power source for the black. What did I call it? Conflux itself.
I'm a lunar sorcerer.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess I do not recognize the power of this moon.
No. This moon is before your time.
I got a 20 on religion.
You did. So you know, yeah, this is Lusal, however you wish to pronounce it. She herself has re-emerging, it seems. She doesn't exist anymore. Olsen, you know that this is very foreboding. For sure.
I mean, I didn't need to make a roll for that one.
Correct!
But at the moment, Onin seems to be the problem.
Can I get a perception check from...
The only thing I don't know is whether or not Onin has enough mass that if he's at the bottom of the river, he's not going to get moved.
Should probably help find him. Since...
Well, he will drown. He almost drowned last week.
Yeah.
He almost drowned last week.
Yeah, last week wasn't a good week for him.
And it appears he has had the same bad wet week again.
There's really no way you can get down unless it's at great risk and harm to yourself. Or if you were to just run, it's quite possible that you are going to miss the black conflux, and then evil will be unleashed upon the land because you weren't there to stop it.
I hate to say this, but
Can't
I
Onin
think we
save
need to-
himself?
for once, I mean. But I think we have to make a decision here.
Well,
Because
the
it looks
ranger
like
and
we're
the
running
monk
out
have
of
the
time.
best chances of finding him if he's actually still in the area. And if we can't find him, then we can't hang around for him.
This won't be the first one you've lost on this venture.
Yeah,
And
but the poor
Lucy-
guy deserves better.
We tried this thing. The same thing happened last.
It's almost as if it was foretold,
Preordained.
I think he
preordained.
needs to stop wearing such heavy armor that puts him at the bottom of the water.
I mean, he's short and fat.
It's not
All right.
fat.
He's chunky. Did you see him eat the potatoes?
Thick.
Swarthy potatoes.
So many potatoes.
So many potatoes.
Anyway, any luck from the monk or the ranger for finding him?
With forlorn eyes, the monk says, "I fear that my friend is lost."
No, I don't
See,
have
I'm not.
anything.
I have nothing that. Oh, actually, I do. I will. Well, if he's under the water, it won't be that much good. Oh, ascending is a. Hang on. And it's mine. I will do ascending to the dwarf, saying, "Please stick your hand out of the water and indicate where you are. We cannot see you."
Creature hears the message in his mind, recognizes you. Okay, so he can answer telepathically.
He can answer telepathically, and I'm hoping he will also put his arm up water where we can see.
Okay.
Other than that, I'm at a loss to save him.
Conan, do you have the wherewithal? You are drowning. To respond coherently.
That answer better be yes. Let's go!
Faintly, weakly, you hear a thought come to your mind in response. And
Potatoes.
he says, "I fall deep." It says, responds to you, "So cold, so dark."
He is very deep. I do not think that we know where he is, though. We cannot see him. I think he's too deep to put his arm above the water. I don't know what we can do.
Which would also be an indication that he's probably pretty close to where he fell in.
But how would we help him?
I could tie. I have more rope. I could tie a rope to an arrow and shoot it down into the water to see if he can grab hold of it.
How long is your OB says, "How long is that rope?"
50 feet.
And I got 50 feet of rope, so that's 100. Well, 99 with the tie.
Quickly tie them together. And he
All
starts shucking off equipment and such from his body.
All right. So while that's happening, I will use magical tinkering to take the arrow and make it glow, which is one of the things that magical tinkering can do. So it would be easier for OB to see.
Nice.
Question: did he stick his hand out of the water?
He can. He said he's too deep.
He's too deep. Okay, I just wanted to make sure because I was gonna use a hunter's mark to highlight him, but he's.
Fortunately. They said
So
he's
Obi,
cold. He's deep
as
and
you're-
cold.
As you are tying the two ends of the rope together, Obi is fashioning a knot around his ankle. He is stripped down to just his undergarment.
Why are you taking your
And-
clothes off?
Because he's gonna jump in.
He
I'll throw
jumps.
guidance on Obi.
He leaps, and you haven't even tied the two ropes together yet. Whoever's tying them, please make a check for me.
Sleight of hand.
Leo. Better tie fast.
I'd assume either sleight of hand or survival.
Nice. And it flies out of your hand just as you finish tying the knot. You are giving him touch one willing creature as he leaps from the cliffside. Roll a d4 and add the dual number to one ability check of his choice. Okay, cool.
Yep. When it matters.
Let's see. What's going to be more important? I would say searching versus diving.
Well, really, he just needs to burn it whenever it is the roll comes up a little short.
Yeah.
He can
let's see
choose
if
when to burn it. I just need to maintain it. We should all get ourselves in a position, however, where we can pull him up, since it's going to take all of us to do it.
He hits the water like a knife, barely breaking the surface. You're holding onto your end of the rope and feel it go taut, and it slackens, and then it goes taut again. Slackens one more time. For the longest time, you start to worry, fearing that you have lost yet another one of your companions. Is it for search? Insight?
Probably perception.
Perception?
Or investigation.
To perception. Okay, submit. Oh, no!
Oh.
And he gets a D4 as well. That was bad. That was so bad. That was so bad. Oh, D4. You pretty much have to roll 4 here, buddy.
He
Oh,
did.
he did roll a 4.
He did. He did.
And that's
Nice.
Technically, he did. Suddenly, the rope goes taut, and you are nearly jerked off of your feet. And far, far below, you see Obi breach the water, and the top of a dwarvish head pops up. Obi looking up at you, and he's struggling with Onan, being such a heavy sack of potatoes himself. He looks up at you, and you can see in his eyes that his strength is waning. Then he lets go of the rope, disappears under the water, and then the rope goes slack again. You realize that he is no longer attached. Yet, you do see him bobbing down the river with Onan in his arms.
Okay, I will run, try to stay even, keep looking over my shoulder and try to stay about even with them, and I keep saying, here, here. I'm basically being the pointer of where they are on the river. Here, here, here.
Give me an athletics check. Disadvantage. Disadvantage.
Not acrobatic?
No, not really. You follow them for quite some time, but then you lose them in the murkiness, in the pelting black hail that's obscuring your vision. You trip on a rock and almost go into the river yourself, and you scurry back up onto the land.
Hang on, before we did that, how deep is the ravine?
60 feet until the water.
Yeah.
Okay, can I, while I still see them, when I see them bob up, I will cast fairy fire on them.
Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle.
So they should sparkle now, so I have an easier time to follow where they are, because they will sparkle for a minute.
Ooh, and I can see them, so I can shoot that arrow with the rope attached to it so they can grab hold of it.
Or also use your hunter's mark on them while you see them with fairy fire.
Yes.
Oh my God.
My page is freaking frozen. There we go.
Okay, so the two of you then are pursuing.
They are glowing purple starlight sprinkly things.
Okay, well that's not gonna happen.
Oh
Why?
yeah, that's not good.
No, that's the damage. Your hunter's mark, you automatically do it. That's just the damage that you would add.
Coulson, can I get a perception check from you?
So you
dear.
can mark them. So you know where they are, and for the minute, we'll all see the purple sparkle.
Nice. Okay. So, as they scurry off, they're pointing down at the river. They're there! They're there! And they're chasing down and doing their various things, attempting to save them. You're making just a quick look around to make sure that no evil beast, loathsome adversary is sneaking up upon you, taking advantage of your distraction. When you notice that there is clearly a path that leads from the bridge, and it leads off towards kind of a bit of craggy rocks that have been jumbled together over time, haphazardly, possibly in some sort of earthquake or something. And you see that the path actually goes up into and between these rocks and forms a natural entryway into a cave.
That'll be handy for later.
And you swear that you see something in the shadows.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You do anything about this?
No. Although, on the offhand chance that we'll be back here within an hour, I find a convenient-looking rock or tree or shrubbery to throw light on, so we can find our way back here if it comes up.
Right on. Okay. So we got the hunter's mark. We got
Yes.
the fairy fire.
Let me shoot this arrow.
For a minute, fairy fire.
Okay. Both of you give me athletics checks. Disadvantage. No, we'll give you advantage this time.
Advantage.
And yeah.
Athletics.
With disadvantage, you said?
With advantage.
Advantage.
Yes.
Now listen here, little dwarf. You better grab hold of that rope. Or we're not having
Problem is he
another.
might not have the strength to pull himself out, so that's a whole thing there.
I know. Him in this water.
Alright, so you run and chase for a good 2 miles. And
Well, my fairy fire will drop, but she could still have her hunter's mark.
yeah. Gradually, the steepness of the cliff on both sides of the river began to descend, and the river gets closer to you as you descend. And
Oh, so they mean the cliff is getting lower.
yes.
Okay.
When you come to a spot where you feel like you've lost them, you don't see them anywhere, but then weakly you hear Obi's voice. Here! 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 They're here!
Are we almost down at the water level? Are we almost at water level?
Yes. After
Okay.
a few moments of searching around for the voice, you do see that Obi has pulled the both of them up onto the shore, and Onin is unconscious. He's quite pale. Quite
I
pale.
will.
Obi is shivering.
I
His
will
eyes are fluttering.
look at the dwarf and do all I can with a healing.
Word. Okay. That'll help. For sure.
I'll hit Obi up with prestidigitation to warm up his vest and trousers.
Oh, nice. Well thought.
I will do something similar with prestidigitation. I will create a little rock that emanates heat, so that they are down there and they are not as cold as they should be.
So I believe
Like
we're gonna
how far are we above them?
You're with them now.
Oh, so we're okay.
Yes.
So we're at water level.
Yeah. We're gonna have to call this a short rest, essentially, if you're going to stay and get them back on their
Okay.
feet and such.
I will.
Very best.
I will sing. Oh my. We'll do
Hail
my-
has subsided. It has become a heavy black snow, which coats the landscape around you in a shroud of shadow.
Everyone
Shadow
gets an
approaching.
additional 6 hit points for their short rest.
Nice.
Oh, nice. And the snow is so cold upon your flesh that it almost burns. Everyone take a. Let's see, everyone take a. My thing. There it is. Yeah. Oh, okay. 1 point. Snow, the black snow seems to burn when it hits your flesh.
But as I
slowly-
sing, you will get that hit.
you get that right back. It is definitely not something you want to linger in for very long.
Well, if we move under a tree or something, that'll cover us for a little while.
In that cave.
I mean, I can in 10 minutes make my, if you would like, I can make my, I'll do 10 minutes and make the hut. And we can get in it. So we don't have to worry about this stuff falling on us.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes. If we're going to wait an hour anyways, I might as well take 10 minutes. So at least we have 50-minute cover.
Okay, so it takes you 10 minutes, eh?
It'll take 10 minutes to do a
Many of them? How many are there of you? Dang, that's a lot. That's a lot of 4s. Shit. So you take
Who let you
21
roll?
points of 21 points of environmental damage amongst all of you, divided amongst all of you.
So how many
So
are there?
about 4 points each. For the next 10 minutes before you can get that little hut created.
Okay. And then once we're inside the hut, then all the environmental stuff stops and everybody gets.
Catch your breath. Ronan starts to come around. He has a little bulb of soup has been heated for him.
I'll use prestidigitation to dry off their clothes.
And again, I'll use it to make some sort of like a small little block that gives off a little heat in here. So it's just a little,
Well, the hut
warm.
already gives you. The hut already takes care of the temperature.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to heat everybody up a little bit more. Not just the. Basically, the hut gives you normal temperature. I'm just trying to make it a little warm, a little cozy.
Ronan says to Obi, he says, "Did you see them? Did you see them under there?" He says, "I saw nothing. I saw nothing, friend." Is it if you speak? Creatures underneath the waters. Dark, malevolent creatures attempting to burrow through my armor into my very flesh.
Look at his
Reaches
clothing
down.
and stuff. Does it look like that actually happened, or is this an illusion in his?
You don't see anything. He says, looks under his bits of armor. There's nothing there.
Friend, I think you imagined it.
I don't think he did.
I think he spent too much time in the water.
I think that could be said in general, given the history.
Because I will dare not ever forget those things. I would rather fight 5 cave trolls than be consumed by those creatures. They were seeking my blood, very soul. Obi says, "Okay, friend," puts his hand on his shoulder. he looks at the rest of you out of the corner of his eye. Maybe rest for a moment. Close your eyes. I dare not close my eyes. Anyway, how long does this hut last? What do you do while you're
It
in the
will
hut?
last 8 hours if we wanted to, but since we're only having a short rest, I will get rid of it in an hour.
Okay.
Finish.
Okay, so what do you do for the next hour as lightning crackles and splits the sky outside?
I will also make fairy lights, just dancing purple little globes of pale purple light in there, and I will sing to calm everyone.
In contrast, you begin to start hearing screaming and wailing coming from the wilderness around you.
I'm
Hear
just
what
trying to
sound-
keep everyone calm.
You hear what sounds like boulders just ripping themselves apart.
Yeah, I think we need to like hurry this up, maybe.
Well, we have to take an hour or you don't get any healing, right?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to have, if he lost a whole bunch of hit points, he's going to have to roll his hit at the end of the hour.
Okay. An hour passes. This time, the winds are blowing so hard. Does the shelter dissipate on its own? After
No,
time?
I will just dissipate it.
Okay. As it dissipates, you are hit by the gusts, pummeled, I could say, and you are forced up against the nearest cliff face, away from the water. Imagine, if you will, Gandalf and the Fellowship passing through mountain passes.
I do
Yep,
not like
that
your
sucks.
weather here.
That
This is
No.
sucks
bad.
mightily.
It is very hard to concentrate on actually focusing on anything with your eyes under the torrent of rain and sleet, all blackened. Everything is in shadow. It's a dreary place to be. There is clearly evil all around you, and you actually feel like the world is trying to consume you.
Okay, I will make my fairy lights into a glowing, vaguely humanoid creature. Have it just float along. Right, a pale purple, giving us some light and trying to bring our spirits up with the gloom and the gray outside. Just this little purple, sort of sparkly. I'd say maybe like a halfling size. Let's make it halfling size, just walking with us.
Okay.
Actually, it's floating.
Can I get from every one of you a Constitution check, please?
Check or save?
Save. Constitution save.
Nope.
Oh, Nalindra.
Just a rough time.
Yeah. I think that's everyone. Okay. Nalindra, as you are huddled up the nearest person in your group, your knees grow weaker and you feel like you need to sit. Just for a moment. Just need to sit for a moment, you think to yourself. Catch my breath.
I will put my arm around her and under her thing and sort of try to carry her along with me.
Okay. I would assume. Well, where are you going?
Up to,
You looking for
towards
shelter?
back where the bridge, I would imagine. We have like 2 miles to go, right?
Yeah. Give me another Constitution save.
I'm going to start using prestidigitation to warm up my own garments. Would that give me advantage?
Yes.
Alrighty.
And I will sing to her before she needs to make her chain, and you have a bardic inspiration, a D8 bardic inspiration if you need it.
Ooh. Okay. Some saves. Tiana saves.
So you needed
Seriously?
it. So you can
Seriously?
Yeah.
use your bardic inspiration.
You said a D8, right?
A D8.
Seriously?
Oh.
I'm sorry.
We can't possibly go any further, Lindra. What about Leo? Leo.
It's like, Mike. Okay, let me do a Constitution saving throw again.
Yep.
8.
Oh,
Well, fuck.
Oh, Leo.
We can be
Oh, yeah.
tired
Yeah, sitting
together,
down
Leo.
Sounds like a fantastic idea. Your joints are just frozen. You can barely even. You can barely even just bend your knees, bend your legs to keep walking. I don't know where they're getting the energy that they have to move forward. Okay.
Oh dear. Can any of you stronger men help them? Carry
There's
them?
an even chance you have a higher strength than I do.
I do not believe so.
I am not too proud to be princess carried.
I have a strength of 8. So
So you
Can you
see
use
the
that
bridge.
nifty conjuring ability of yours to create a large umbrella while I put together my floating disc?
I could. Yeah. So
All right. So
Actually-
I will take a moment to ritual cast floating disc, and we
will-
can put the people that can't move on it, along with, I don't know, a hot stone massage or something, and then we can carry on.
So I will use this ability that I use a 2nd level spell slot to be able to use my performance of creation again after I've used my second level slot, and I created a large dome umbrella
Large dome umbrella.
that has something that at the bottom that can attach to something. So like a big foot or something.
Okay. This aids your travel. For certainly. And the bridge hoves into view as you struggle forward. Found it.
Unfortunately, your light is not.
No, but the bridge is probably a good enough landmark if it turns out that it's still there.
You can see where it's still attached to the cliff. Yes. As you get closer, you see that the bridge is actually. The two separated ends are actually reaching out from the cliff face, trying and searching for its other half on the opposite side of the river. It too is becoming covered with black ice and snow, which seems to have an effect on it as well.
Okay. Well, as we walk up to the completely harmless cave system that has a bunch of creepy crawlies running around in it that I'm sure won't try to eat our faces in any way, shape, or form, I am going to throw a continuous series of Eldritch Blasts into the bridge because now I'm mad.
So Coulson spends a few rounds totally decimating the bridge.
Like I'm gonna just keep walking, but it's just every couple of steps it's like whip, 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 whip.
Okay. You do that.
Just out of spite. Does the bridge die?
At least
Eventually,
become
yes.
dislodged.
The bridge begins to disassociate from itself and mimic upon mimic let loose of its friend, its brethren, and start falling plop, 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 plop into the water below.
That is terrible. I collect 10 temporary hit points from them dying.
And eventually there's no
Again,
bridge.
from spite.
There is no mimic bridge left. No,
I promise
where
to
do you go?
feel guilty about that later.
Yeah.
We go up.
You will
Actually,
no longer.
does going through that does going to that cave like look like it takes us in the right direction, or is that like kind of a wrong bit here?
Does it do what now?
The
Does
cave.
does going into that cave look like it takes us in the right direction?
So you're approaching the cave. The moon. The moon is there still, and at this point, it has been growing ever so slowly, and seeming to become more solid, almost as if it's like within 3 feet of you, as if you could touch it. And you start to see what looks like on the surface of this moon, cities and canals and causeways.
Well, you really have to appreciate
It's
the
quite-
infrastructure.
And it is lingering over the mountain that is oppressively peering down at you. And then, of course, right in line with the path is leading up into the mountain and through it.
So this
Yeah,
pass
we're
is
doing
going
this.
as if going into a cave or into a pass through the mountain.
Could be a cave, could be a pass. It's hard to tell.
Well, if we're lucky, it's a pass, and that'll get us out of this weather. And if we're not lucky, it's a dead end, and we're going to have to kill everything and come back out.
Well, my umbrella will last a little while longer. It will last for 3 hours. So
You follow the path, get a little ways in between the rocks that have the large, gargantuan-sized rocks that have fallen upon each other, form something of a little tunnel you can get into out of the weather. It comes to a dead end about 8 feet in.
Well, damn it.
However,
I will go with my mage hand and push against it to make sure it's not an illusory dead end and it's an actual.
you push with your hands or your mage hand?
My mage.
Okay. It seems like it's solid rock as your mage hand pushes against it.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I get a perception check from you?
Both of us, or just her?
Oh, that was bad.
That was bad.
Oh, good lord.
And that was also. So that was too bad. 2 bads in a row.
Yeah, it looks like it's a dead end. Oh wait, Olsen. Does the mage hand make some sort of illumination? I would imagine.
No, it's a ghostly thing, so it's like translucent. So no, it has no light.
Well,
So
I guess I still had that arrow that I
But
was rolling.
my well, not when I do them.
I never did shoot the
Right.
arrow.
My light would go away with the mage hand, but maybe Coulson made a light on the umbrella.
No, but I did cast light on my arcane focus as we were coming up.
Ah, okay. So there is light. In this dim light that you're creating,
Bright light,
Olsen.
actually.
or in this bright light, actually, that you're creating, Olsen, you see the faintest of cracks on the wall that you're facing. It's a straight, thin crack.
Like the
Is it
side
the
of a
sort of
door?
crack that would inspire somebody to like press their face against it in order to see through it? Is that the sort of crack it looks like?
You could put your face against the crack, sure.
That's great. I Eldritch Blast the hell out of that wall because I am not convinced that it's not a mimic. Like just five consecutive Eldritch Blasts into the wall just to be sure.
The barrier, once the cacophony of sound and light from your blasts die down, is no longer there, and you are faced with a chamber beyond.
I bet you there's a monster at the end of this
If
one.
it looks like an
I feel much better about that.
internal chamber, or it's still, does it have a roof on it?
It is, yeah, it is inside the mountain, it seems like.
Okay. So I'm going to start entering into the mountain, just radiating violence.
Mhm.
Are
So
these
if
guys
anything
still
really, really wants to mess with us, they understand that I'm going to kill them.
are they still floating on the disc? The other two, or
They're
are they
within
able
20
to
feet
walk
of me,
now?
so yeah.
But they can't walk still.
Well, I don't know about that, but I figure once we get out of the weather, they'll be in better shape to start making recoveries.
Okay. Well, I will have my umbrella basically close, so it's now still attached to the disc straight up, but it's now not open more, so that it doesn't take up so much space. And basically, it also doesn't obscure their view of anything that might be in this space.
Okay.
Basically, the umbrella closes.
So you enter a chamber.
Groovy.
Does it hold secrets?
Does the chamber want to be threatening in any way, shape, or form?
Let's see what it says here. This large chamber stands beneath a 30-foot high ceiling, held aloft by columns carved from the surrounding mountain rock. Middle of the open room holds a 20-foot diameter table crafted from black stone.
Ooh.
Number of dull, crystalline specks are set into the table's surface in seemingly random patterns. In each of the room's four walls stands an open archway leading into darkness beyond. A thick blanket of dust covers the table and floor, and a horrendous odor fills the air. You almost gag at the stench of rotting waste and decay. Although you are out of the weather, you have entered a quite ill-kept chamber that you wish not to linger in for much longer.
Okay. How are the companions feeling? Also, how many of the companions are actually walking? Because I
Sounds like
feel
he's
like
dying.
we can only carry like maybe 2 or 3 of them on the disc.
Up to 500 pounds.
So
Yeah, well, Onin takes up a lot of that, so...
So let's do Onin and Obi. Catching a
Obi,
ride.
no, Obi's like nothing. Obi's like probably like a third of that at best. Onin's probably at least half to 2/3 of it. And Leo, I think, would take up a pretty sizable amount since I'm pretty sure he's wearing armor as well.
Leather armor.
Don't you also have like a bunch of equipment and stuff?
Which is on the ass.
Is the ass still with us?
yeah.
I
The
would
ass. You can pull the ass into this chamber, but you feel like this is where the ass stays behind.
big ass
Forward.
sticking in the way.
So I will
Abattoir. That's the word I was looking for.
Avatar.
I will take all of the equipment that's on the ass off and carry it over to the disc for whoever needs to take their stuff back. And then basically I will put an illusory barricade over the chamber so that it thinks that it can get out and not come back. So basically I will say, stay right at the mouth of this. Don't go out in the black rain, but don't be in this chamber very long. So it's like an
Illusory corral.
illusory pen So
I
I'm sure
see.
the ass isn't smart enough to figure that.
So
I'm
I'll
just
start
trying to keep
warming
it-
up the two or the folks in the disc until they can recover.
Okay. All right. So you take a breath, take a beat.
And I will
Couple minutes, get toasty.
wave my hand and the umbrella will
And create itself.
Okay.
so all of your stuff is now I've moved all your stuff over here. If it was on the app.
Fair enough.
So this room is pretty much like 60 by 60 feet with columns lined up against the walls. You have from the entrance that you have walked through, there's a what looks like a tunnel or an entryway right across, and then to the left and to the right on each wall.
While Coulson is heating up the people on the disc, and after I've put the pen around this ass, I'm gonna go over to the table and see if I can make anything about these symbols. You said they look sort of random, but can I see
do.
any pattern to them?
Can I get a intelligence check?
Not Arcana. That's pretty
no.
good for me.
Pretty good though.
Why am I getting a?
Right, you don't.
Oh,
the
that's
ass
because
ain't
I'm
that.
a
So,
hijacker.
in your travels, ever since you were pulled from the earth, however long ago it was, when you would stop for camping overnights, you would stare up at the sky, stare up at the stars. And it is here that you realize that some of these specks on the table look vaguely familiar, but not quite right.
Like sort of like a representation of the sky.
It looks like a representation of the sky, the stars above, the night sky.
Is there a moon in this night sky?
There is not. You, can I get a, let's do an intelligence check from, give me an intelligence.
An
Oh, not
intelligence? Again?
No, you've
History?
already done that. History. That was
Not my
also
place.
wrong,
So
that was also wrong, but I'll take it. One sec.
I don't know this place, so I wouldn't know the history of this.
Yeah, instead, give me a perception check.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do that instead.
Same deal. 11 10.
All right. So this table is quite ornate, and you notice that these stones are moonstones that are spread out. There's hundreds of them forming these constellations.
Can I use Arcana to try to see if there's some meaning in the way that they're placed?
Well, you can tell that they are similar. They're like exploded or contorted versions of the constellations that you have seen up in the sky.
Like maybe from a different time?
There you go. A different time. A time long gone. It's clearly some sort of... This table is some sort of star map, it seems.
Maybe a
If I
map
look
of
very carefully
ancestry.
if I
What's
look
that?
at it
A map.
very carefully at them, does it look like you can press them, or are they just ornate decoration?
They do not depress, no.
Okay.
As you press one of them, actually, one of them comes dislodged under the pressure of your finger, and it clatters across the table a little bit.
Did anything change as the got removed?
No. There's a little divot where it goes. It was fastened.
We'll use mage hand to put it back where it.
Okay. Secure it back in its little divot.
So this is the sky, but probably olden days sky. Does anyone have any knowledge of religion that might understand what this would be representative of?
Onan is scratching. He's scratching the back of his neck as he's walking around the table, kind of looking at it from different points of view. Well, if it is a star map, a constellation guide, clearly it could be from eons ago. But more importantly, and he reaches down and tweezes stone out of its place. Could pay for our trip. He starts eyeing all of them as he's silently counting in his mind. Clearly intent on swiping as many as he can.
Are you sure
I'm
that's a
very
good
interested
idea?
to know if he can swipe them.
If he can swipe them?
Yeah, like how easy
Well,
are they to
he
remove
picked
from the
one
table?
up.
Oh, they're easy. I just
You
knocked
wiggled
it
it.
out.
Yeah,
Okay.
he just wiggled it. Yeah, just a little bit of force. You can pop it right out of its divot.
Well, I'm all for financing our expedition, but at the same time, are we invoking the wrath of some long-forgotten deity or something by doing that?
That's what I was asking about the religion part.
Well,
I
I rolled a
mean-
22, so
Shit's already going down. I don't know if it's going to get any worse than that.
I don't know. You anger gods, they don't
As you-
always appreciate things.
And as you speak of an angry god, the cavern seems to shudder, or it does shudder around you. Dust vibrates on the floor.
I'm going
Falls
to
from the
detonate a
ceiling.
fireball in this room if somebody does something stupid. I'm just going to say that. We'll just drop a goddamn fireball and that's it. We're doing it.
Onan puts the moonstone back in its place and backs away from the table and looks around at the ceiling and at the walls. Puts his hands behind his back and just casually starts circling around.
I turn to Leo and say, "Do you know what this could mean?"
does Leo know what this could mean? With the 22?
The star chart? It's just an
Yeah.
old chart from millennia ago.
Alright.
But normally, people did that because they were, I don't know, watching or waiting.
Well, I guess the real question that we should be asking here is, with so it's a star chart and all that, but doesn't seem like it was tracking anything specific, or does it seem like it was a model in progress, or like was this a ritual site or stuff like that?
That is unclear. Unclear to you.
No altar or anything.
Can I
huh?
can I get a perception check from you?
There isn't any blood stains or anything on this table.
No. So Leo, you're looking around the room. You're not seeing anything on the walls or anything. You do notice that there is displaced dust on the floor from your companions have been meandering around and leaving tracks in the dust. But you also noticed a larger shuffling path. Is clearly a disturbance that leads off into one of the chambers, specifically the one directly across from the tunnel that you entered from.
Yeah, we may not be alone in here.
That was a given.
You start to put together the smell and the path that leads off through that doorway.
Oh, so the smell is coming from that.
I get a stealth check from everyone.
Does that body guy smell funny?
The body guy. The guy
It's
in the
bad.
Jesus
Zugon?
Christ.
Okay. Coulson and Tiana. Okay.
It's not
I mean,
my
let's be
turn.
fair, I've been pretty pissed off through this entire thing.
Right.
I don't think quiet is part of my shtick.
Yeah. What would Coulson do in frustration? Out of growing frustration?
If something started twitching, Coulson would blast it.
Uh-huh.
Although right now Coulson is very much considering walking around to the table and like using minor illusion to duplicate the map. So if it comes up in conversation, he'll be able to create a reference for it.
Okay. What about Tiana? What would she do?
I think that she just was looking around, and then the ass made a braying sound from the side, and she turned around and kicked a rock by mistake, and it went bing,
The
bing,
rock.
bing, bing.
The rock goes bing, 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 and straight into that room that Leo is noticing that there is a track leading into. And Leo, you hear a
Oh,
and that
great.
stone disappears. And all of you just stop, because it was a very loud snort.
Is that a pig?
Not a pig.
Not a pig. Bigger than a pig.
I'm gonna fireball it. I'm gonna
Far-
goddamn fireball it.
far
I'm
greater
gonna
than a pig.
fireball it. I'm gonna fireball everybody it's met. I'm gonna fireball everything it's ate. I'm gonna fireball everything behind it, in front of it, above it. You stick your head out that cave, I'm gonna blast you.
You start to hear coming from that chamber. The more
That's gonna be a big monster.
the more you keep going, Coulson, the more agitated you get, the louder that the sound does come from the darkness. And
Hand of cards.
filling up the entire entryway is a lumbering mass of rock and lichen and stone and flesh. Comes lumbering quite sleepily
That's an interesting combination.
out of its sleeping area, and it's clearly some sort of troll, a troll you've never seen before. It's covered. It looks like it rose from the very earth itself, and it sniffs the air and it winks its black eyes and starts to focus in on the room and realizes that it is not alone. Its eyes slowly widen.
Two questions.
Yes.
Is there another exit from this room other than the one we came in through?
Right and to the left.
Okay. Is one of those exits where the troll came from?
No, that one's directly straight forward ahead of you.
We should leave.
You don't
Let's do
say.
initiative. Let's do initiative.
Since I'm the one, I kicked the rock into the thing I'm pretty close to. As soon as I heard that snort and I heard it coming, I will try to do a mirthful leap over the table so I'm on the other side of the table from this troll.
Mirthful leap. Okay, so I get a 14 on.
Yeah, Sater's got some movement.
Mirthful leap onto the other side of the table. Then
By the way, we should
select our token.
select your token.
Can't select mine.
Okay. Add
Why doesn't this ever work?
14. What?
You have to click on your token and then hit initiative, and that'll put it up automatically.
Yeah, mine's not clickable for me.
You might have to drag your own token down and
I got him. I gotcha. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, try it now.
There we go. Okay, now let me get back to the things. Flop. Oh,
Oh. Look at there. Oh, by the way. So. Oh,
And
no.
Colson doesn't have Bardic.
Not currently, no. That was hours ago.
So I think
Okay, so there's Onan and then Obi.
What the heck?
You having troubles?
Yeah. It like
What are troubles you're having?
can't make her initiative appear on
yeah.
turn order.
You rolled a 14. We can add you. What was your highest roll? You rolled
14.
14? Okay. I'll add you. Alindra. Should do it. Oh, 0. 15. Okay, I believe that's everyone. Leonardo Tiberius Leo Rourke. You do.
go with a tried and true classic of casting grease under its feet to, hopefully trip it down.
Okay. There's the save. DC.
I love the idea they just pull out like this super soaker and just blast at its feet.
Spell save 16. Rolls a 9. All right.
Slip sliding away.
His
I'll just
knuckles
say-
down.
I'll sing slip sliding away on my
Original. His knuckles loses purchase with his knuckles, which he's putting the bulk of his weight on as he emerges from his lair, and his front arms just cross, and he goes down and lands on his face. Well, stone upon stone thud, and he, with his elbows and his forearms, he attempts to pick himself back up as he grunts surprisingly. The ground beneath you shudders a bit under his weight. Where did our initiative thing go? It disappeared. There it is. All right. Tiana? Tiana?
I get my mirth. If I didn't get my mirthful leap before we did initiative, I will run and do my mirthful leap in
You can
this
do a mirthful
round,
leap.
and then turn around and say, and I strum my lute. I think you should be purple. And he has shiny purple sparkly.
So you change him color?
I could change it color, but my favorite is purple sparkly.
This is interesting.
He
So
doesn't
has
actually change color, it's just his lighting changes to purple.
He's basically outlined in purple sparkly. But he has a 15 spell save. Does he for save?
Like when
Distracted.
you highlight a character in a video game.
Yeah, purple mood lady.
Okay.
Ye-
Okay, I'm doing
Any creature in the area with
something here.
outline. Okay, it has a dexterity. It does a dexterity saving.
This is so janky. So janky.
But he has disadvantage if he's falling on the grease.
I can dig it. Interesting
Okay, there you
cave
go.
we got here.
What did it end up looking like? Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is where you're at. And of course the fella's right there. Coming out of his lair.
I think we need squares need or something.
Anyhow,
60.
so you make a mirthful leap, you turn him purple. Boing! Is there anything else you can do for your go?
Well, he has to make a dexterity saving.
15.
No.
Fly.
So he is not only outlined, but he emanates purple light. So he basically sheds purple light and 10 feet radius. So he's basically a glowing purple sparkly.
Interesting. Okay.
And then I will crouch down so that I'm behind the table.
All right. This gives him pause as he manages to upright himself, but then he notices that there is purple illumination upon him, and he's distracted by trying to rub it off of his arms and off of his chest. Okay.
Not.
I think that means we come to him, and that's what he's doing. Onan. What's Onan gonna do about this? Onan Flameforged. Feeling a little bit spunkier than he did. However, he does not want to handily engage him. He will use his.
Everybody gets advantage
Much of an advantage.
because glowy purple.
All right. So he just wrenches his crossbow, a bolt into his crossbow, and from a distance, near one of the pillars so that he can take evasive action and hide behind it just in case this beast charges. There's a bolt. Sinks into troll. A loud crack as it pierces his skin. Coulson.
We'll take a moment to create an illusion of myself just out of his reach. There we go. That should be sufficient. So I will use minor illusion to create an illusion of myself pointing at him angrily. In order to convince him to attack that instead of anybody important, and I will also hide myself behind a pillar, and gonna create an illusion as a distraction for him to maybe eat up one of his attacks.
Okay.
And that'll do
Bless
for
you.
me.
Chewie.
Alindra probably should have gone for me because she probably has higher than me. What is
We are
your...
back.
We're missing a bunch of people.
See Nalindra. See Coulson twice.
I don't see.
See you twice.
No, I can finally move.
So when you moved us to a new map, the turn order only applies to the icons that are on that map. You can see it because you're the GM. The rest of us can't because we only
Oh, you
see
can't?
the tokens for the appropriate map. So
So we're back to Leonard.
it's either that or you have to copy and paste all of the tokens from the other map and put them here, at which point the initiative should come along with them.
I could do that. I do believe. That is not a problem. I say. Oops. This is not a problem.
So Leonard's gonna move behind a pillar
Mhm.
and let out an eldritch blast.
Second.
No, they didn't get their initiative to go with them.
At your level, Eldritch Blast should have 2 attacks.
Well, I did just one target, double down.
No, you get 2. You don't. Elder's Blast doesn't get increased damage, it gets increased number of blast.
Okay, since there's only one target, can I hit it twice?
Yeah, but you hit it
Yeah.
with 2 blasts. You do 2 Eldritch Blasts against it. You don't up the
Although you
Okay.
do have 2, you do have advantage on the attack.
Mm-hmm.
So you could potentially get yourself a happy little crit off of that.
That turn I hit the wrong
So
thing.
25.
Oh,
and then,
I see. You set it up so it just does 2d10.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that covers it.
Mm-hmm. Your first blast smashes into it, knocking it back into its lair. The second one goes askew and hits right where it was previously, knocking a big hole in the cavern floor, making a big divot. There's a shower of debris that spews up, and you can hear it in its lair screaming out in agony and anger, and a whole shower of whatever it has been dragging into its lair and sleeping on or eating on is just thrown out of its chamber into the chamber you're standing in. Can I get everyone to make a Constitution save?
Constitution.
Oh boy, it's gross.
All sorts of detritus and feces and half-eaten meals shower upon
Ew.
you.
Gross.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
My hair.
I do believe that brings us to Nalindra. No, Tiana. Tiana.
no, Alindra hasn't gone yet, so she should actually be in front of me. What's your dexterity?
I have Tiana as 14.16 and Nalindra as 14.
Yeah.
Well, but she should be 14 point something, right? She should be. It should do point your dexterity if you have it set up on a sheet. But I think she's probably in front of me. She probably is higher than.
Okay,
So-
Nalindra can go first. I will
Okay.
make her 14.17.
I'm
She
just
should be.
gonna shoot some arrows.
Pew pew pew!
Advantage for you.
Oh. There we go. That okay.
Same. 22 and then a 24 and a 24.
So that, 20. Okay, so you're just firing into its hole, trying to keep it from coming back in to the chamber that you are in.
I mean, we can probably still see the purple glow light coming from it because it's.
You can see like illumination coming from that chamber, a purple illumination for sure.
And I'm going to go after it because I'm gonna kill it, and I'm gonna shoot it again.
Okay. All right.
Where's
So, yeah,
the third
you get-
attack coming from?
The first one didn't count. The first one didn't count.
Because it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't advanced.
Okay. All right. So you're holding it within its lair. It is going to hurl a large femur at you.
Delicious.
A delicious large femur comes rocketing out of its lair.
Let's see here.
You must have more than 13.
I would imagine so. Is this correct?
I mean, if you have a decent dex and you're wearing light leather armor, more than.
AC should be right up there next to your initiative.
AC is 16. Yeah, he missed.
Yeah.
Goes
So missed.
whirling right over your head. It hits the table, and moonstones go scattering all over the floor.
I duck under the table so they don't shower me.
As it does that, he leaps out and charges at you.
And I'm gonna cast a minor illusion of myself and move out of the way.
Is that a reaction?
It is
And action.
an action.
You can't
Nope,
do it. You
just
already
kidding.
did your attack.
You cannot do it.
Oh no!
So I do believe
Oh, my pig.
Mr. Troll. Your mouse is dead. Your page is frozen. My mouse is dead.
No, I accidentally clicked the scrolly bar, so it was moving it automatically.
I still misses you. Still misses you.
Sting like a
Just
comes
duck-
l-
you just roll out of the way.
move like a butterfly,
lunges.
sting like a bee.
You just dodge him, and he smashes into the table.
Oh no! Oh no!
I crawl away so that the table doesn't
Oh,
tip on me.
I look at Onan and I'm like, well, I think we can actually collect those gems now.
Obi, or Onan, actually. Let's loose another. By the flame! Back, you beast! That. Enough of you! Boop. It deflects off of one of his stony appendages in his shoulder and deflects into a nearby column. Rawr! Onan grumbles and staggers forward with a little bit less vigor than you have seen him before. He's still recovering from his ordeal in the drink, but he is pulling out his hammer as he grows closer to the troll, which is right here near the table at this point. Coulson.
Okay, I'm going to see if he's over there. I'm going to move myself over to the entryway. And yeah, it's time to light this silly bastard up.
light 'em
I
up,
will
up,
throw
up.
Hex to get him into the game, so I will fling my spectral coin at it, extracting the ante. And then I'm going to deal him in. Does 14 hit?
14 will not.
Okay. 23 for 18 damage.
The Eldritch well, your cards hit, and he starts pinwheeling away, spinning away, pirouetting, as trolls do so often, away from you. As he does so, he grabs the edge of the table and shoves it off in your direction. Can I get an athletics check as he hurls it at you?
I will have
Can, but
to.
I did put two very heavy stone objects between myself and the troll.
They smash, and the table smashes.
I will
into
have
his-
to. I will, as he's doing that, I'm going to
No,
dive under the table so that it goes over me because I was right in the corner there.
Okay. And he ends up face to face with Onin at this point after making that maneuver.
Tiana should have it. She should go right after Lynn.
Yeah, that was Coulson. Troll reacted to Coulson. Now it's back to Leonard. But then it's her.
No, but I should have went before the troll.
You did you not?
Nope, I've only had one turn.
Oh, what do you do to the troll?
Well, if I'm I roll out of the way of the table as he tries to shove it at Coulson. I'll roll over here in the corner,
Okay.
and then I'll get up and I'll send a firebolt into him.
Right. To be clear, though, you might want to back that up. He hurled the table at this Coulson.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, I was misunderstanding.
Oh, well, that makes more sense.
Okay. That I was misunderstanding. Okay. So I will then move into this corner. And he's standing like right here or something.
Yeah.
Okay. And I will put into him.
I'll do this little guy.
A 15 hit.
You using
15. It's my attack.
firebolt? Your firebolt goes wide as actually it ricochets off of the back of his neck as he is facing illusory Coulson. And
Okay, and then I will move into the corner here behind the door.
he
Oh, actually, I should have had advantage. Let me reroll.
can reroll.
Advantage. Ah, that will hit.
That will definitely hit him. Image.
15 fire damage.
Let's go. Also, I just want to point out that I have really awesome music that's going right now for this troll fight.
Okay.
Nice.
Yes, so this time he is enveloped in flame from the shoulders up. Like the entire upper third of him erupts as if the very material that he is made of is flammable. He starts beating his arms in the air and swinging violently to and fro. Nalindra, you need to make an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics? Oh no.
He's flailing back
Oh,
towards
okay.
his lair. Back towards his lair, which you are betwixt he and it. Okay. Yeah.
Not today, troll.
He retreats back into his lair, and it illuminates with fire and purple. Everything that is in there catches fire, and the smell just gets even worse as well. Now it's burning refuse instead of just refuse. He's thrashing around in there, and the room around you is starting to shudder and quake a bit under his tantrum. You do. Obi is quickly scooping up moonstones, moon gems.
Respect the hustle.
As it seems like the troll has retreated, and he rushes forward to this door, then lingers there questioningly to see where the group is, what the group is going to do.
Good a choice as any.
Yeah, so you have the south door and the north door.
So it's Leo's turn, yeah?
It could be. Yep. You do, Leo.
Well, I think Leo will like move over behind this pillar to get a clear line of sight to pop, try and pop this thing again.
Okay.
And 20. And for damage of 16.
Jeez Christ.
There you go.
There is one very, very brief scream of pain, and Lindra, you see, you basically see his body just explode inside his little lair, and bits of himself fall to the ground and clunk out, and his meaty, stony little head comes bobbling out on the floor, landing at your feet.
Well, I think he's dead.
His mouth opens suddenly.
Oh, or
His
not.
tongue lolling out. Then he's dead. Obi says,
Okay.
well
So,
done.
is anybody going to look in that smelly cave?
Nope. But I am going to start hoovering up the gems as they happen to be nearby me.
Hoovering.
Yeah, I think we need to just gather up, because at this point it would just be foolish to leave them behind.
Well, they're not gems, they're runes, right?
They're moonstones.
Moonstones are gems.
I was like,
I thought
either
he
way,
said
they're
runestone.
Moon.
MOON, not RUNE.
Oh.
I'm going to, while I'm standing here, I'm just going to look down this hallway to see if there's anything. Just peeking around the corner to see if I can see what is down the hallway.
It
Well, apparently there's clones of all of us.
extends into the darkness.
No, just you.
It's dark.
Those are copy paste.
Oh, will nobody brave it? I will do then.
Well, I say let's brave it after we get all the gemstones up.
You
Then
guys
we
go
can move
ahead.
forward.
You guys go ahead. I will go to the mouth of his cave and look over his head to his body. See if there's anything else in the cave other than his body. Which I imagine is still glowing purple.
There are large bits of what used to be his body that are still glowing purple.
Gross.
Yeah, this is definitely his lair where he did everything. Everything a beast would do.
Is there anything else in there of any import?
You can tell, no.
I will use my mage hand to move icky bits around to look under them.
Actually, you find under all of the debris, there is a surprisingly advanced astrolab construct.
Oh, I will have the mage hand pick it up.
It rises from the ground where it was covered in filth and body parts.
And I will bring it over and put it on the floor near me, and then I will make my mage hand go away and use prestidigitation to clean it off.
All right.
Can you imagine that a troll would be using this? And I hold up the now clean and no longer stinky astral.
No, a troll to put in these gemstones either. It's obvious that it's left over from someone previous.
Onan says, it's quite possible he saw it as a bubble of some sort. Once it was shiny.
Actually, I'm mildly surprised that he didn't disturb the table. Well,
He
I mean,
held
up
it in
until
the-
recently.
Is there anything peculiar about this astrolab? Is it just looks like some sort of a tool?
It just looks like it was a tool. It was used in conjunction with the table.
Okay, I will open my pack and flip it inside because it's probably worth a penny
I would imagine so.
or several pieces, whichever.
Come on, don't grab it. I just want to do this to it. Duplicate. Yes. Let's see.
But there was nothing else of any import in that cave, even when I moved all the sticky pieces.
You rummaged around quite deftly, and that is the only thing that you could find. Can I get a Constitution check from you?
Well, I didn't do it. My mage hand did it.
Okay. Okay. Yep.
Oops, don't have
Mage
it.
now has chicken pox.
You're. You definitely feel a bit of a queasiness in your tum tum, for sure. You were standing nearby as your mage hand dug through everything. You cannot unsee what you saw in that chamber.
It's a beast. Beasts go to the bathroom. Not so bad. Except it's stinky.
Okay.
So I assume we got all the gemmy things up.
You could do that.
Alright, and
There's,
we're
there's approximately 300 in number, approximately.
we could
So
divvy it up later.
300 moonstones.
Moonstones.
Moon.
Yes.
Mm.
Okay. Which direction do you go from here?
Down.
Left, down.
What? I was
Left.
like,
There's
isn't
only
that-
left or right.
Left.
Yeah.
On the map, it's down.
Want to go down?
This way.
She chose down.
She chose left.
To the left. To the left.
I will make my my dancing lights come out, dance, and go down. They can go quite a distance in front of me, so I will have them go at least 50 feet down the corridor in front of us, illuminating.
Excuse me.
Okay. Okay. So, you traverse, and it actually looks like it's going up. Up.
Like
It's
up
a
into the
gradual-
mountain?
Up into the mountain, yes. And it starts with just cobblestones, and then it turns to stairs that start to go up. Then the stairs get narrower and narrower the higher you go, probably about 50 feet or so in. It starts to make a switchback.
Hate switchbacks.
Well, I will make sure that the lights don't get out of our sight as it's switching back, so I'll have them just hover until we're close enough that they can sort of go around the corner
Okay.
so that it illuminates where we can see rather than illuminating way far.
The steep, winding staircase leads hundreds of feet up from the dusty chamber below. As you
we are
climb
getting
its
such a calf workout.
as you climb its corkscrewing stairs, the smell of fresh air comes to you almost unexpectedly. Almost unexpectedly, the stairs end at a small landing with an open archway leading outside to the mountains. Beyond the arch is a vast circular bowl surrounded by jagged mountains. Circular floor of the bowl has been planed smooth, whether by the hands of man or the seemingly endless mountain winds is unknown. Myriad symbols fashioned from glittering stones decorate the bottom of the depression in a tall spire of black granite bearing gleaming white veins of mineral stands in the center of this open-air amphitheater dedicated to the havens. We're looking down upon, from aloft, blue sail wheel below.
Oh, those are pretty stones. Do we want to get those ones too?
As you had
look up.
emerged onto the landing, see a rift start to form in the very air.
I will back into the cave entrance
Near the obelisk.
and leave my dancing light, my fairy lights out there dancing around, but I am going to back away from it.
You will notice also, should point out, that above you can see Sal itself, the moon, is hovering above you, again, as if you could reach up and touch it. And the sky all around you is still, perfectly still. There is no precipitation, there's no sleet, hail, snow. It's just the moon and then blackness beyond, lingering above the wheel itself. A fissure starts to open and starts to widen, and it wavers and crackles as it does. So,
I'm slowly backing up, leaving my
Does
lights
the
out there, but back.
table, or does the bottom of the wheel appear to be doing anything? Glowing, crackling, fitzing about?
it almost looks like it is moving, but it might just be a light illuminating from the rift that is just hitting all of its various facets and making it seem like it's dancing.
Is it a long drop to the bottom?
It is a long
course it
drop.
is.
Yeah, it's basically like a bowl. It is a bowl shaped.
How deep is the bowl?
So it looks like it's about 120 feet.
Deep?
120 feet. down
What's
to
distance from where we're at right now
where
to
the
the edge
spire
of the
is.
bowl?
Not far, because you came out onto this landing.
Right.
You're looking out above it.
So how much of a drop is it to get to the bowl?
I will actually show you.
And how far across is what's the diameter of the bowl?
Can you
These are
put
all very-
cereal in it?
It's this
Cereal. Oh,
My Lucky Charms.
but we went out the other door.
Yeah, I had to fudge some things. So it's here. We're just gonna say that this corridor that you went down there connects to it.
So we're standing.
You went da da da, and then ended up right here. You're looking out over this depression, the mountainside. Remove.
Okay, so we're at the depression then.
Yes. Good clear.
Okay, so there's an obelisk but not a table. Does the existing pattern that's down there bear resemblance to what we saw on the table?
On the table. Yes, it do. It do indeed. Can I get a perception check from you?
And
Yeah, so it does look like the pattern that lines the bowl itself is starting to shift ever so slightly.
And there's like gemstones in the bottom of this that are basically representing something.
Yes.
The same thing that the moonstones were representing on the table?
Yeah, it looks like constellations as well. And they are shifting.
I doubt it's
get
going to
a-
be easy enough to just disrupt this by moving some stuff around.
Where is
Can I
the
get-
rift opened?
Can I get a perception from Tiana?
Uh, no. I moved back into the thing away from the rift that was opening, and so I can't see anything except my light stand.
Here's the rift. Abby the rift. Are those your dancing lights, or what are those?
Yeah, those are my
What
deaths. Fairy lights.
lights. Okay, cool.
I will bust out
Alright.
my minor illusion and see if I can see any differences in the display on my minor illusion and what's going on down there.
We'll bust out your minor illusion.
I used, or I basically used minor illusion and kept casting it until I had a reasonable facsimile of the table.
Yeah.
So I'm creating that that facsimile as a point of reference.
Okay.
Does it look like the pattern is more or less identical?
It's similar, and it looks like it had started to be identical, but it's shifting.
Okay.
Shifting. And
Hmm.
Tiana's
And all those
perception
little
of-
holes that I see there, are those actually there and only the sparkly bits are where the gemstones are?
No, disregard that.
Okay.
That's not a fair representation of what you're seeing.
Okay.
Tiana, throw me another perception check and give yourself a D4 plus.
Okay, hang on. Nope, it's not the one. I clicked on the wrong thing. That won't matter, because even if I rolled a 4, I'll get it. So
Coulson will pick up on this then. Coulson, you realize that it's pretty much what was on the table itself represented. However, it's shifting to what is actually the present day constellations from
Okay.
what was to what is now.
That tracks.
Mhm.
I'm
And
going
this-
to slide down the bowl and try to disrupt the constellations.
Slide down the bowl and disrupt the. Okay.
are the sides of the bowl smooth?
Save for the jewels that are embedded in the bowl itself. These are also seem to be moonstones, but of larger size. Probably about 5 times larger than the ones you saw on the table. They are embedded in sides of the bowl, and they are shifting. They are moving, not in a track, or anything. They're just moving themselves
Like magically.
magically. Yes, and Coulson is going to his decorative buttocks slide right down to the
That's
bowl.
extremely decorative buttocks. TM.
Okay, give me an athletics check.
That's gonna go poorly. Could we make that acrobatics?
Sure.
Okay.
You got yourself. Okay.
Not only do I make it down, but I make it down in style.
Can I get a stealth check from you? And I'm gonna give you a +4.
Oh no. 18 total.
Cool. Yeah, so you acrobat yourself down the side interior of the bowl all the way to the obelisk itself, and you duck behind the obelisk, putting it between you and the rift just as figures begin to emerge. The first one you see, Coulson, is this fellow here.
Is the rift like way in the air above the bowl, or is it like down close to the actual surface of?
It is down near the obelisk.
Okay.
Daikon, you son of a
midair.
bitch.
You just had to go into the bowl, didn't you?
He emerges and you hear him speaking. He's like, "Ah, yes, see, I told you. You would not possibly be here before we arrived." And this very... Oh, that's not very large. This figure emerges behind him. This imposing creature, or human.
That Boak.
He just keeps getting bigger.
Boak emerges. Well, I want you to be able to see him. I'll put him over here. Well, damn it. Where did Dragon go?
I think
Jeez,
you,
there he is. He's attached
think
to
you-
something.
Yep. I think you made them one.
We
Yeah,
have
joined
become
now.
one. Anywho, so the two of them step through, and then with whipping wings flying through the rift as well, 4 of these ones flop, 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 flop. And then the rift begins to close behind them as they stand before the obelisk. And Boak steps forward and he says, "At last, my ascension is at hand." And he starts walking towards the obelisk with an outstretched hand. And you see Dragon, he puts his fingertips together quite eagerly, awaiting for contact to be made. What do you do?
Oh, shit.
Well, seems like moving the moonstones might be a little late at this point. Well, actually, nothing's actually entered the rift, right? Stuff has come out of it, but nothing's actually entered it?
They just came out of the rift.
Oh, okay. Well, that part's kind of covered then. I'm going to try to break one of the moonstones with a couple of Eldritch Blasts.
You could definitely attempt to do that.
I don't know what the rough damage capacity... Oh, I don't have Hex up. Well, I don't have Hex up on that. I don't know what the rough damage capacity of them is, but assuming that a 12 hits, that's 7 and 15 for a net 22.
Okay.
Which hopefully
So
is
you
enough to
hit-
shatter one.
Hit it, and it takes the energy and it absorbs the energy, which does not give you much hope.
I
It's going
was
to destroy it.
half expecting that.
It absorbs the energy, and then it just dissipates it in random directions. Just make an athletics check to avoid getting hit by any of that. Just you, because you're the closest one. Did you succeed?
How does an 8 sound?
No.
Why do you have to laugh like that?
Okay, so how much damage would it do divided by 4?
That would have been 22, so 5 and change.
Okay. Take 5 and change as a tendril of power lashes back right at you.
Okay, gets soaked by my temporary HP.
Okay. Once you do that, of course, you have drawn attention to yourself.
Dagon! Buddy! How you doing, man? I see you made some new friends, which surprises me because I thought all those kids were really more your speed.
Coulson. I'm sorry, friend, but he looks down at the stones as they are shifting and then they stop. They become stationary and then all of them, all around the bowl, begin to glow. He smiles devilishly at you and says, "You are too late." Boak, his fingertips touch the obelisk, and lightning shoots up from the obelisk, up to the moon high above. And he is engorged with power from the moon into his body, and his stature begins to transform as he doubles over with his hand on the edge of the obelisk. He falls to one knee, and you see him starting to contort in shape, and he starts to grow right before your eyes. And Dragon is just still staring at you, Coulson, with his fingertips tinted. He says, "I would definitely advise you and your friends to run." What are the rest of you doing as Boak is going under this transformation?
Watching.
Meanwhile,
I'll move so I
4
can
demons.
see what's going on down in the bowl, because back in the...
So you see these 4 demons. They are flapping around. They start pinwheeling around the perimeter of the bowl, searching. You see Coulson. One of them is angling around to dive on Coulson. The other 3 are circling around for others, namely you.
Hmm.
Is there any action that the rest of you wish to take?
Do we really want to fight these things?
Coulson faces off against the greatest danger known to mankind.
They seem to have
alone.
some kind of beef going on.
Well,
I will position myself so that I can duck back into the corridor if I need to, but I need to be able to see down into the bowl, so I'm right at the edge.
Mhm.
And I hopefully haven't been seen. My lights are dancing out in the in the air over here.
Okay. Dragon says to Coulson as there is a vibrating sound that's emanating from the moon down into the obelisk and into Boak, and he's starting to grunt and groan, shriek as his body transforms and changes, and he's growing, and becoming sturdier, and it looks like his muscles are actually turning into some sort of mass that is not biological, that is not flesh anymore. Coulson, you can see that on his forehead is starting to split open, and a red eye is beginning to emerge.
I mean, I hate all of this.
well, I have a thought.
Yes.
So with that, I think Leo will unsling his rifle and shoot his very physical, non-energy based rifle at the obelisk to try and disrupt whatever the hell this is doing.
Okay, go for it. Fire the rifle. The bullet propels through the air, and then once it reaches the obelisk, a tendril of lightning stretches out and decimates it and blows it into atoms.
Well, now we know.
Now we know. You have drawn, by doing that, you have drawn the attention of one of these 4 demons that are flapping around. It screeches and pinwheels in the air and starts to dive straight for you, Leo.
So yeah, next opportunity I get, gonna shoot that thing. Because like at that point, that sounds like it's going to be like initiative time.
Is going to be initiative time. Copy, paste. However, battle is engaged, and this is where we will need to stop for tonight because this might take a little bit of time. It is late. But let's position the board. So we have a demon on Leo, demon on Coulson, and we'll put these other 2 demons over here.
So, as food for thought, since I'm not going to be here for the next session,
Oh shit!
yes, that would be a thing. I have the insane plan of trying to siphon energy off of that obelisk into myself.
Oh,
On the offhand chance that I might be able to steal a bit of it from him and maybe utilize it against him. So that
so
is.
how would you do that? Let's address that right now.
I mean, I would basically like put my hands on the thing, or put a hand on the thing, and like
He puts his hand on it.
try to like channel energy from it. Because I have both divine and infernal energy available to me, I suspect that I might be able to get some kind of a purchase on this, but I don't know that to be the fact. So this would be a gamble, which is exactly the sort of thing I do.
Can you? I'm. So you reach out your hand.
Yeah, basically, I'm gonna be like, all right, let's see if I can use some of this, and I try to tap into it, and that's gonna be my thing. And if that lets me do something extremely devastating and cool, great. And if it doesn't, then I don't know, blow me down the stairs or something.
Well,
What are we blowing? Wait, what?
You reach out and you touch the obelisk, and you see that Dragon, he sees what you're doing, and his eyes widen ever so slightly, but he's trying not to cue you in on his concern of what you're doing. I would imagine.
Oh, good, that's a tell.
That's definitely a tell.
I like tells.
Can you give me a Constitution save, though?
I can. That is a thing that I can do. And just in case that's not high enough, is that not high enough?
Yeah, you might want to do something more.
Okay, I'm going to use Favored by the Gods.
Yes! Yes!
I'm going to dump an additional 7 into that for a net of 24.
All right. So, Boak, as he is in mid-transformation, suddenly becomes aware that someone is siphoning off power of chaos away from him. And he looks up at you and with his 3 red eyes now. Goes, no! Sorry, Betty. As power starts draining into you from Lusal itself. And Dragon smirks at you. And yeah, that's where we'll end it. As you now you, Coulson, are beginning to, or your body is beginning to transmogrify and transform and grow into something mightier than you have ever been before.
Yeah, I'm going to smirk right back at that smug little bastard.
Okay, and
So, yeah.
that's where
Let me know how that goes next week, or in a couple of weeks.
we'll do.
I'll send you guys pictures from Larrabee.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
All right, good
Good
game.
times.
We got to the end, just didn't finish the end. Let's see what happens next time.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Good
hanging
times.
out. Was a fun time.
All right.
Bye.
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 Yeah, that was fun. Ow. Alright, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you guys have a good rest of your night, and I'll catch you tomorrow. We'll do some Minecraft tomorrow, maybe some Destiny. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. As always, don't forget to stay frosty.